David Solomon. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, noon Eastern. You think about it, we rant about it. Listen to us live on Facebook.
I got to tell you, David, this is some of the scariest moments in our living history.
Absolutely.
I first of all, my heart goes out to every life that is being put on the line today in Ukraine and the whole entire Western Europe. But I don't really necessarily feel bad for Western Europe. I think Western Europe is the primary culprits on why this is happening to the Ukraine. And that goes to NATO and the refusal to continue to support and grow NATO by the NATO countries that back Russia and Germany. And the madman by the name of Vladimir Putin, in my opinion, is at the direct hands of Germany. And, when you have a psychopath who sees world domination and the old flair of the CCCP, David, this brings us to a new world order. What do you got to say?
Well, first of all, good morning to everybody. It appears that we are live now on Facebook this morning, a little early. We've kind of gone a little early, but that's okay. We're good. You'll hear us again at noon on a recording. So, if you're here on live and you're joining us, please, we're waiting for your comments. Excuse the technical error. But you know what, Stuart? I got to tell you, the crazy thing is this war in Europe. This war is the most egregious act of any kind since World War II. And I've been saying this to people, it's for years. What we've seen going on in the world, politically and attitude-wise and whatever, reminds me a lot of what happened in the 1930s before, scary enough, before World War II. A lot of similar trends. And here we are with a madman, megalomaniac, who's talking almost as badly as Hitler did. Now, the oddity of this whole thing is Putin says he wants to denazify Ukraine, but Ukraine is run by a Jewish guy. Well, let's leave that alone for a second. But the issue today, Stuart, and our topic really today is what's absolutely frustrating and angers me a lot is the way we've gotten here. And again, in the world that we're in today, we need to blame, right? We need to blame people and we need to be angry at people. And to me, the first thing I'm going to tell you is that the Western world is arrogant, beyond arrogant, because we believe, like any empire, our way is the right way and the only way. The Romans did it. The Greeks did it. Any empire believes that they're above and beyond any other society because they're the more powerful one. And that's how Americans believe. The world acts and should act like Americans. And so when you're dealing with a guy like Putin, it's a different culture, a different mindset. And then you go ahead and say, let's deal with him the way we should be dealt with, Stuart. Failure number one is not to understand the cultural differences between.
Well, hang on a second. You're saying America, America, America.
I'm saying America. No, Stuart, because America, unfortunately,
you did say
no,
it's
Stuart.
Not that you meant otherwise.
Stuart, let me know the point. I'm saying why America is because America is the leader. Unfortunately, the UK, France, Australia, Canada, all these other countries can do jack if the United States isn't behind it.
So let me say that yes, our former president recognized that NATO, right? The United Organization that was created post-World War II to prevent an issue just like this seems to have been long forgotten. And Germany, France, Italy, Spain, right, have clearly forgotten why NATO was created. NATO was not to benefit the United States. NATO was purely to benefit them in case another madman would re-emerge in society. And everyone believed that the lessons learned by Adolf Hitler would not be repeated and the ambitions of Stalin and Lenin would not be repeated, that every country was happy with their border, there was trade amongst resources. But David, that is where the mistake and slippery slope. The United States was paying the lion's share to support
Yes,
NATO.
you
But you know what
understand.
the funny thing is? The funniest thing is, where's the rest of Europe?
Well,
Now,
the
the
problem is the
United
rest of Europe is not strong enough to stand up to look. Not Stalin. Funny, ironically, Putin has Europe by the balls. Okay,
ah,
Germany can't
let's not
survive
talk
without
gender,
Russian
David.
oil. Yeah. Thank you. Russia has got Europe very strong because they are the energy provider. What I'm saying is that what they've tried to do, Stuart, this is poor leadership. This is poor. This is completely misreading signals. This is blaming Donald Trump, which is becoming a sport that, you
Hey,
know,
but hang on a second, David, that is a poor parties, and they've done this blame. First of all,
it's
they
not
did
just,
it blame
it's,
Bush.
it's
They did
also
it blame Reagan. It's a historical
but Stuart,
pattern of a loser's mentality.
the Europeans are doing the same thing. Had Trump not done this, we wouldn't have been here. Excuse me. Had Obama not given away Crimea, we wouldn't have been here. You
Well,
can't. You know what
listen,
I'm
go
trying to
back
say
to
is,
Obama. Listen, Mitt Romney, I keep cutting you off. Mitt Romney,
oh
who's
God,
not in big favor in the Republican Party today, in 2008 was made to be a joke. Oh, what kind of, CCCP? What are you, crazy, Mitt Romney? Are you an old American oligarch? But now, here we are today, and all of these risk board games are now a reality. And you want to know one more thing, David? I would like, and I'm considering very heavily, on starting a GoFundMe and try and raise $5 million for the world of hackers to start taking out the command and control of the entire
yeah,
Russian
yeah. But you got to be
country.
careful. You got to be
Yeah,
careful
you
right
know, you
now.
got to be careful because then I get on a
YouTube's
hit
going to
squad.
take us down for this. Look, but Stuart, I'm going to tell you, I would rather support the people of Ukraine, frankly. And let's just take a step back here again, and we talk about blame. I'm going to give you two things, Stuart, that really irks me right now, and two different things. Okay, number one, the liberal media. I give certain credit to certain media people who understand geopolitics, not just a recency bias, but geopolitics, and understand why we got here. Okay, and I'm a history major from university, and I can tell you, and I've explained it to people, that you cannot look at what's going on in the Ukraine and Russia based on what you've seen the last 10 years. You got to go back centuries. It doesn't work that simplistically, and some journalists get it. And then there are the morons out there that blow my mind, that blame Donald Trump for this sport. And it's MSNBC, again, permitting Rachel Maddow going out on her blog and making these egregious remarks. And it's just stupid. It's unbelievably stupid. You are
David,
trying
you're
to
comparing. You're
no,
comparing.
Stuart, the problem here is this, and I'll let you talk, I promise you. The problem I have with this is, once again, Teflon politics. Do not touch Biden. Do not touch Obama. They're Teflon. You cannot hurt them. You need to protect them at all costs. So we will distort the truth at the expense of the Ukrainian people? Genius.
Well, listen,
Genius.
David. A slow listen. First of all, there's no such thing as a small invasion. It's either you invaded or didn't invade. When you want to have support for another person, if you're bleeding in an artery, for all those doctors that listen, if you don't put a tourniquet or pressure, you're going to bleed out. The country of Ukraine is bleeding out, and
Mhm.
these slow, non aggressive measures that, will in old age affect someone is going to be the blood on the hands of the President of the United States, of every Ukrainian that dies. There's 165 people dead, 310 people injured. By the way, an injured person is a man that's lost a limb, a woman that's lost a hand, an eye. This is very serious. You have 450 people dead or casualty. That's a more accurate definition of what's going on. Personally, you need to understand and you need to look at the map. This psychopath wants the entire former Soviet Union. He wants all those little blocks right on there that you can see from Estonia, Ukraine. He wants them all. Kazakhstan. They all have different resources, and they bring the pride back to the Soviet Union. But who is to say that once he has these, he's not going to go for more? This guy is.
But he will go for more, Stuart, and he will go for more. Because if you follow history, you follow Soviet, Russian history, I don't care how far back you go, it was all about protecting the motherland. Always protecting the motherland. Moscow was to never be attacked, St. Petersburg, all the rest. It has always been like that. That was how the Soviet Union was established, by using these satellite countries as a buffer. Stuart, this is geopolitics. This is the problem. We don't understand it. But I also don't understand one more thing. And with a couple of minutes left, I need to go after a few people.
I'll be quiet.
No. I want you to add to this. Hollywood and sports love to take a stance and rip on the United States, rip on how people are being treated. They were silent for the Chinese Olympics, and now they're silent here. A couple of players in the NBA are from Ukraine, spoke out. Silence. Hollywood, silence. Okay, I want to tell you that the woke, the hard left, these Hollywoodites who think that they hold the moral higher ground, where are you right now? Why aren't you protesting? There are Ukrainians all over the place. There are, in Canada, by the way, 1.5 million Ukrainians. They're going daily to the Russian consulate and embassy to protest. Where are you, Hollywoodites and athletes who claim that you care?
What a great subject. Not only where is California, where is the media? Where is Bill Gates? I'd like to know where Bill Gates is.
It's not just.
And you know what, David? Where is Google?
Stuart,
where is Facebook? Where is LinkedIn? Where is Twitter?
Stuart, Facebook.
They're going to cut off a trucker group in Canada. They're going to cut a trucker, but they allow propaganda from the Soviet Union.
Absolutely.
I think that is the most un-American, un-global Western concept.
Stuart, Facebook lets you put on a flag, Ukrainian flags, so you could show your support. It's this kind of wimpy attitude. It's this kind of media, this kind of content control, as you said, very well said. Where are they? Once again, it's about do as I say, not as I do. Once again, it's about choosing to crap on, look, I don't live in the United States, but I got to tell you, life in the US, life in Canada, life in many Western countries far exceeds where other people live, but we crap all over it. And here, the Hollywoodites and the athletes who crap on it and say that they're here to want to support mankind, where are you? You should be denouncing Russia. And don't tell me it's all because it's not the people's fault, it's Putin's fault.
But how about where is Neil Young? Where is Madonna?
Neil Young.
Where is the music people? I don't hear this. Neil Young, born in the free world. I want to ban Spotify. How about I want to ban the USSR?
Well, that was a song by the Beatles. But, the crazy thing is that, and your point is correct, are they going to put up a concert for the Ukraine? Who knows? Are they going to support it? Stuart, a few years ago, when Hamas sent rockets into Israel, every concert, performers, athletes, I stand with Palestine, a non-existent country, and yet here in a country with a history, a deep culture, something you could trace, something that it's been around for centuries, deserve our support. And ladies and gentlemen, there are ways to financially support them. Please go on, and there are plenty of ways to send money to help Ukrainian refugees who are in peril and help them. Silence. Again, silence by the left, silence by the woke, silence by the athletes in Hollywood, silenced by the technology companies, silenced by the artists. It is disgusting and sad. And with Stuart, with that, we're at our quarter hour. We wish our friends in the Ukraine and our brothers and sisters in the Ukraine safety. We hope that this idiocy and war, and it is a war. It is an outright invasion. Nothing to don't call this a military action like they called it, or a police action like they called it for the Korean War. It is what it is, and it needs to end now.
You know what that means, David?
We're done.
We're done.
Have a great day, everybody.
Goodbye. Be safe. We'll see you on Monday for more than likely a predicted collapse of Kiev. And I wish, again, everyone